Rosa Kazan again. Now, with the problems in the East and the looming presence of Russia, this election had the potential to be a disaster. Well, it wasn't, but it didn't exactly go without a hitch either. Brian Mefford is the director of Committee for Open Democracy and one of the election observers for this election. He joins us live from Odessa. So, Brian, what has the mood been in reaction to the results?
Well, we'll know more, of course, in the morning when the results are not just exit polls, but official. However, in general, the mood has been one of relief. Ukrainians have been somewhat tired of the turmoil of recent months, and so many attribute what appears to be a first-round victory by Petro Poroshenko to Ukrainians' fatigue and desire to move forward and build a European future.
So, Brian, what does a Poroshenko win mean for the future of Ukraine? Does it mean peace and stability at last?
Well, that remains to be seen, but it is a step forward that will give Ukraine a president for the next 4 years. That will give Ukraine some stability that it doesn't have right now at the moment. So that's something that Ukrainians are looking forward to going forward.
Russian President Putin has said he will respect the outcome of these results. How significant is that? And at the end of the day, don't actions speak louder than words?
Well, absolutely. Russian President Putin has said a lot of things, but his actions are what you have to watch. So if indeed he follows through and respects Mr. Poroshenko's victory, that will go a long ways to establishing a better relationship between Ukraine and Russia.
What else does he have to do?
Well, removing the troops from the border would be a good first start. On top of that, though, having normal trade relations, a normal price for gas, for energy, all those things would be big improvements in the Ukrainian-Russian relationship.
Brian, how big of a role do you think Ukraine's possible membership or perhaps future membership in NATO, how much of a role did that play in this election?
It wasn't really a factor in this election. Certainly public opinion in Ukraine is moving in favor towards NATO membership, whereas 6 months ago, maybe only 20% of people supported NATO membership. Now it's about 40%. And opposition's fallen from more than 50% to right around 40%. So it's about 40-40 with about 20% undecided. In this election, though, that was not a factor. However, Ukrainians have realized that they need to be able to defend themselves as they've been at the mercy of 80,000 Russian troops on their border.
And I have to ask you about the situation in Donetsk and Luhansk. It kind of makes me wonder, did anyone even dare to show up at the polls, and were polling stations even open? Which makes me want to ask, how legitimate are the results?
Well, the separatists, armed separatists, blocked the voting at many polling stations, preventing Ukrainian citizens from exercising their democratic rights. Nonetheless, in Donetsk and Luhansk, around 15 to 20%, we'll have a final tally in the morning, but around 15 to 20% of voters did vote. They courageously got out and found a way to cast their ballots and exercise their democratic rights, which is important. However, nationwide, the turnout has been good in this election. It is comparable to the most recent presidential election in 2010. Turnout appears to be more than 60% nationwide. It was very heavy in the center and the west of the country. So even though armed separatists denied the Ukrainian people the right to vote in 2 regions of the country, in the other 25 regions, people turned out to vote, as they have in past elections, and in high numbers, around 60%.
All right, thank you so much, Brian Mefford.